Alright, we're going to do example 3 and calculate weighted average number of shares. This is a pretty straightforward case where there's no stock dividends or stock splits. So down here is a table that helps organize all this information. And if we go through the information, what I suggest typically is you put the dates in first. Okay? So we have a 1/1 start date. So it's January 1st. Well, that's not going to work out very well in that white, is it? We need a darker color. So here we have 1/1/09. And let's see, then we have on March 1/09 another event. So we go 3/1/09. I grabbed a little thinner pen. On July 1/09, there's another event. They're going to reissue some shares. On October 1, they're going to sell some shares. So let's see, we have the first day of the year, 1/1/09, then March 1/09, there's an event. On July 1/09, there's another share-related event. October 1st, and that's it. So when we go to 1/1/09, obviously the change in shares doesn't matter. So now we're going to fill out column A and look for the shares outstanding. So on each date there's an event, a share-related event. On March 1, they repurchase 15,000 shares. So we're going to put that in parentheses to show that as a reduction. On July 1, they issue 50,000 shares. On October 1, they sell 10,000 shares out of Treasury. So that would be an increase without any parentheses there. They began the year with 200,000 shares outstanding. Whoop, that's a little messy. Let me clean that up a bit. When they buy back 15, they have 185. They issue off of that base another 50, so now there's 235. And they end the year with 245,000. So October, November, December, they have 240,000 shares outstanding. So let's look at this a second. You start the year with 200,000. Repurchase 15, that gives you 185. Issue 50, that gives you 235. Issue another 10 out of Treasury, that gives you 245. Now the way a weighting scheme works is you're going to have A times B times column C is going to equal the weighted average shares. So that's detailed over here in the last column. But this table will do all the heavy lifting for you if you put in the correct information. And right now we've completed our column A. Now we have to do probably the most important part is the fraction of years outstanding. So if we're outstanding all of January 09 and February 09 up to March 1, that's 2. And actually let me grab a different color just to keep it exciting. And I'll up the pen size a little bit. Alright, so that's 2 out of 12 months. So we'll start with March 1st. That's all of March. That's 1. April, May, and June. So that's 4 out of 12 months. July, August, September, up to October 1. That's 3 out of 12. And October, November, December, that's another 3 out of 12. So this column B here, this is the weighting scheme. WEIGHT, weighting scheme. And one thing about weighting schemes is that all the weights have to sum up to 1. So we got 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 3 is 9, plus 3 is 12. So this column sums up to 12 twelfths. So this plus this plus this plus this equals 12 twelfths. So that's good. Always do that as a little check. Make sure you got everything set up right. Now this column C here, I'm just putting it here for completeness and so that you remember to do it on future problems. But there's no stock dividends or stock splits. And all we need to know is when there's not a stock dividend or a stock split, the stock dividend or stock split adjustment factor is 1. Alright. So then you take these three, 200,000 times 2 12 times 1, and you get 33,333. 185,000 times 4 twelfths times 1, you get 61,667. 50,000 times, 235,000 times 3 twelfths times 1, you'll get 58,750. And then 245,000 times 3 twelfths times 1, and you'll get 61,250. So, if you look at the last column, it's 245,000. 245,000 was outstanding for 3 twelfths or 1/4 of the year. So that is 61,250 of the weight. Okay. So what we're doing all this work for is for total weighted average common shares outstanding, and that's going to be 215,000. All right, and that's example 3. So this process with the table helps you keep all the information straight. Make sure you get your dates right, and then you get your fractions correct. Double check this column. Once you have all the information in the column, all you have to do is multiply A, B, and C to get the weighting for each different row or layer of shares outstanding, and sum them up, and this is the total weighted average common shares outstanding, 215,000.